Oh, man, peace, love, and light to you. To my Sovereign Rain University, everybody that's meeting me here. You know, we're doing 9 weeks in the cocoon. We're 3 weeks in. And of course, this is the community huddle mixed with the raw report. Bear with us, allow for the people that's not a part of the doctorate here to get this work as well too. And I wanted to throw this kind of bonus, you know, in between, because we just got done dealing with emotional barriers, right? We were dealing with those things that emotionally has us stuck in certain situations. And what we're going to do today is review. It was on my heart to share because, again, like I say, man, here's where we really and truly grow. And because you here, I'm not here to waste your time, and we're going to grow and we're going to elevate. Now, in 2021, I went and seen a psychiatrist. Why? Because it was on my heart to do. I had wanted to do it once before. Dr. Umar said something, how we really and truly don't take mental health serious in our culture. And some of us who have grown through certain superhero situations, not saying that you need to see a psychiatrist, but bro, you got warriors, or excuse me, bro, you done got soldiers who done been overseas and fought in wars, just like y'all doing in the streets. Those same shootouts, you know, the same exact thing that's taking place over there that they doing. You got PTSD. We too busy trying to be P and forget about the TSD, you know, because they tell you to bottle it all up, keep it all inside. A man not supposed to show emotions. But guess what? When you hold that inside, that trauma, that hurt, that pain, that what you're going through psychologically, like, bro, it'll turn into cancer when you keeping it in and you don't have no outlet. So that's what we're going to do here. You know, we're going to share, or I'm going to share, when we're talking about physical resilience. And there's two things that I want to highlight, right? Because somebody was talking about how we need to be like the eagle. And the eagle is a beautiful example. But also what we're dealing with right now is the ant, you know, and I want to definitely compare and contrast these two different ideologies or these two different metaphors so we can grab the proper ideology of them both. They are both beneficial. But at the same token, for what we're trying to do, the eagle has been around or in existence and have ancestors that lead back to about 36 million years. Do your research. But the ant has ancestors, their lineage traced back for 140 to 160 million years. What I want us to be able to do is learn from the ant, because even though the eagle has so many characteristics, it's powerful, it's more so on a solo tip. When the ant know how to build collectively and cohesively, and they build kingdoms. And that's what we on right now, building and working together as a collective. After you get that individual self together first, but then guess what? You don't live by yourself, right? You still got to have a wife. You're going to create a family for some of us, or you're going to have a husband. You're going to have children. We're leaders in the community. And so even though you on that solo tip, yeah, there's certain things that you need to be powerful as an eagle. But man, there's so much more that we can learn from the ant. And I want to be able to highlight the two because they're both beneficial. But we looking to be like the ant right now in this time, family. And so we're going to grow through them both right now. I didn't say go. I said we're going to grow through them both so we can plant it in our subconscious and play it out in our conscious mind. The ant is known for their extraordinary teamwork, their discipline, and their communication skills. Number one is their selfless unity. Ants function from the well-being of the colony as a whole. Each ant, whether a worker, soldier, or queen, performs its role with precision, understanding that its individual effort contributes to the survival and the success of the group. This collective mentality emphasizes the long-term success is built on shared effort, sacrifice, and unity. A powerful lesson that each human being can thrive from when we really and truly embody that selflessness that we need as we build collectively and cohesively as a community and as a whole. The number two thing that I want to highlight is communication and adaptability when we're talking about the ants. Ants use signals to communicate complex information about food sources, dangers, or tasks. This adaptability allows them to respond effectively to their environments and adjust strategies as needed. This is a potent example of why being adaptable and transparent in communication within human organizations can lead to innovation, and it can lead to problem solving, right? Because if you put a bottle down there in front of an ant while they building, the ant not gonna complain, they're not gonna do anything but guess what? Build around it. And that's what we have to learn in times of trouble. And we can use this as a conflict resolution skill, right? From the ants, right? The ants. We're learning from the ants right now. So the number 3 thing that I want to highlight, right, is building through cooperation. The ants know how to work together. Ants construct elaborate nests and maintain intrinsic tunnel networks to sustain their communications. This demonstrates that collective communication and contributions, even from the smallest member of the group, can result in monumental achievements. For humans, this speaks to the idea that working cohesively with a shared purpose leads to building structures, both literally and metaphorically, that stands the test of times, right? So, in building kingdoms, we have to be able to work together, family. If we're going to build organizations, we have to be able to work together, right? If we're going to build communities, we have to be able to work together. Even in a family, right? Because there's no I in team, but there's an I in family, and each individual matters, which means that we have to be able to build collectively and cohesively, even in the family. All right. So now we're going to get into the Eagles mentality, because the Eagles mentality is about individualism and self-mastery. That's why we in the cocoon, because it starts there first with the individual, right? That's why environment is key. There's things that we're going to learn, and we're going to add it to ourselves first, and then we're going to take that into the community. All right. So let's start here with the eagle. The eagle symbolizes power, freedom, and singular focus. It embodies a different kind of mentality from the ant, one of self-resilience, leadership, and mastery. The eagles are known for flying solo, and they got very high vision, right? Eagles are known for soaring at great heights. They known for hunting alone and maintaining an independent path. This mirrors leadership qualities that stress strategic vision, and it goes into personal mastery. Okay. All right. That's what I had to do first. As you see, the creator set me up and set my nest up high. Well, I got clear vision. All right. Looking at the skyline, as you see, as the rocket, and we looking at a $200 million real estate. All right. When I come out here and pray. So I understand that it starts with self first, but then I learn from the ant, and I'm able to take this self mastery out into my community. All right. Let's get into the number 2 thing we about to highlight from the eagle, because the eagle has focus and precision. The eagles demonstrate an exceptional precision in their pursuit. They remind us of the importance of honoring one's self skills and striving for personal excellence. This approach can build confidence in oneself and your ability to execute. All right, because oftentimes we'll have a goal and a dream and we don't really know how to execute. That's why the eagles self-resilience and that self-mastery, and you having that confidence in your skill, which will build the confidence, right? And you got to know how to get out there and hunt, baby boy or baby girl. I promise you that. Because if you're going to be a king, like my boy E was saying, you have to know how to hunt. You got to know how to kill. And the one thing that I learned from Oba Idefumi, the second up there, Oyotunji village, is that every day, man, you got to get up and you got to work. And you got to work for the people. You feel me? It's not about you. It's not about self a lot of times. Even though, guess what? I might be the one, but at the same time, I'm one of the ones. You feel me? There's a village that I depend on. Because if Mother Jones and them, if I'm depending on Mother Jones and her family to get up every day and bake for the market, and her husband, they're having a dispute or something's going on in their household, and she don't get up and she don't bake, then guess what? The village don't eat today. So I gotta make sure that their household is together and we maintain a good, healthy relationship collectively and cohesively in your family, so that can trickle out into the village. So guess what? Each individual skill set matters to the kingdom. That's why we're learning from the ants, and we got to know how to work together. But just like the eagle, it starts with you knowing your value and what you bring to the table first. It ain't even about the table, excuse me. I'm trying to grow from my speech. It's not about what you bring to the table. No, not at all. It's about you discovering your gift, perfecting your gift, so we can give our gift away. And see, and this is why the ants mentality is so important. While both approaches have their strength, the ants' collective mindset is increasingly essential in the modern world, where complex global challenges require coordinated effort and a shared responsibility. If we really and truly gonna push past the test of times, we have to be able to survive as a unit, right? As one beat, as one people. Just like the ants can lift objects many times their weight together, humans can tackle massive social challenges such as climate changes, social issues, and technological advances when we work together as one. And then we have to look at it as empowerment, as unity, right? Empowerment of the unity of everybody moving collectively. Unlike the eagle who flies solo, the ant's philosophy shows that no contribution is too small when it serves a larger cause. It empowers each member of the society to understand their value within a broader context. It also enhances the motivation that takes place when the little man on the totem pole, you don't look at him or overlook him as you would the big dog, as you know, in our society. There was something that hurt my feelings so bad yesterday that I heard words like pecking order and gatekeeping. Man, those things mean nothing to a man of God when you know how to pray and get those things up out the way. Like I said, man, don't you know he'll use a rock? So oftentimes we'll think that it's our work when we forget that, man, we're working for the Creator. He's using us to do a job. Man, oh man, oh man, that just sung numbers to me. But we gonna move forward, man. We gonna move forward. I'm gonna say that for another time. We gonna move forward. So you know I love to give some implementation steps so we can walk away empowered, all right? And number one that I want to give is the collective, all right? A group empowerment leadership. When we understand that it's bigger than you and it's bigger than me, you know. Me and my brother used to say this, because there was a time I smoked cigarettes too, y'all. And I used to tell you, man, it's bigger than me. You feel what I'm saying? Like my boy Nino Brown said, the game, man, it's bigger than me. I fall victim. I told you, I'm your brother. I'm not a mentor and I'm not a pastor. I'm not talking at you, I'm talking to you. Man, I fell victim to the cigarettes. Man, there was one puff, I remember the first time I threw up. But then there was a time when I was, you know, smoking in trees, and then after that, I would like a Newport because it'll kind of boost me or mellow me out, and then I would have a drink as well too. I'm telling y'all, family, I'm not above it, but I had to be able to shake that stronghold that was on me. And how did I do that? Honestly, it's about environment, because environment is key to our success. That's why we can't be on that solo tip certain times, because that's how the devil will get us. That's how we'll get the drifting with the devil. It's because he'll have you thinking that you all alone and that you have nobody to help you, nobody in your corner. When I promise you, man, that's not true. That's not true. That is not true. You even got us, Sovereign Reign University here. As you see, we're building collectively and cohesively. So that's why I'm glad that you're here, family. But we're gonna move on to the next implementation step. But I want you to understand, don't be on that solo tip. All right, kill that mentality out, because we'll get to drifting with the devil if we stay on that type of tip. The next thing that we're gonna deal with is communication and being transparent. If you notice, even like I'm talking to y'all right now, you've never heard me say some of the things that I'm saying to you. Now you can look at me and tell that I'm not no saint, but you've never heard me really be this vulnerable or me share the way that I'm sharing. It's only because I'm trying to help that one that was just like me. I'm not here to talk to saints. I'm here to talk to, as they would say, sinners. But I don't want you to look at yourself like a sinner, because they'll want you to feel all dirty and nasty, like you a sinner, like you and the Creator. Y'all, you disconnected from Him, and you got to seek things outside of yourself in order for you to get the healing power that you need. But no, it's already inside of you. The one thing that we have to do is forgive ourselves, right, for falling victim to the distractions, falling victim, all right? Because I was that way, because we're impressed by people that's in front of us, and because they have been dysfunctional grown-ups, right, haven't healed through their trauma. And so we can't learn from certain examples that's in front of us because they don't want to be 35, 40, and 45-year-old mature adults. And they're trying to act like a 20, 22-year-old, and they want to give you competition instead of really being OGs and offering guidance and offering game where you can grow. Man, I was just talking to another person today, and they like, it's like the mentality of you don't want to grow up. You still want to be a little boy. So I can't learn from you because you too busy trying to be forever young. Bro, I need you to grow up and be a grown man and offer guidance and game, and not you trying to shave off all your hair, dye your hair black, and you don't want no, he said the no gray gang. Man, bro, get off of that, man. When are you going to show me a level of maturity where I can seek the elders and get some game and get some guidance from, so I know how to guide my life, so I know how to raise my kids, so I know how to build with my queen and my family? But guess what? You don't have that because you don't have a sex discipline. That's why you got kids over here, kids over there. You done went through 4 different females, right? When the female is our greatest resource, and you damaging the queen, you damaging the very thing that creates life. So now I can't learn from you. So now I gotta stand up and I gotta be the new OG at 35 years old, and I gotta give the game and the guidance to the next generation. And I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. I might change my name from Coach AO to OG AO. That's what we gonna do. OGAO. Yep, that's what we gonna do. As a matter of fact, I might put triple OG on it. Nah, for sure, man. Nah, for sure. And then last but not least, what we gonna learn from the ants is that cooperation and adaptability. All right, we keep saying it. We keep saying it about these ants, man. These ants know how to work together. They do, man. They fall in line. They know how to submit to one another, right? And also, I said this before, but let's really highlight it, right? When we're talking about conflict resolution skills, oftentimes we won't have our emotions intact, and we feel like we always got to say something when that emotion hits you. I remember my mama used to always tell me, bro, you ain't got to say everything like everything that you feel, it ain't got to come out your mouth. Don't you know your tongue will create your heaven or your hell? Don't you see how the tongue made? It's the only body part that's made like this, right? And it has the ability to do that. And if you can't control your feelings and what come out of your mouth, right, then you might dig a deeper ditch for yourself when you can easily pivot and come out of a situation because somebody was in the same situation that you was in or worse, and they made it all the way to the top. That's self-actualization. If you put a bottle down, if you put anything in front of the ants know how to build around it. They'll build up it. They'll turn around and go the opposite way. They have such an ability to adapt, and they won't say anything to you, right? They won't say anything. They're not vocalizing their feelings, and they don't get emotional about it. That's why you got to stay out of your feelings, little bro or sis. I don't know who watching this, but you being in your feelings at time or not understanding that energy that's in motion, when the emotion hits you from that feeling, man, you'll send yourself down a road that I promise you, man, it's not beneficial. So that's why we want to learn from the ants, right? It's much more beneficial for us to learn from the ants. We can learn from the eagle as well too, but once we have that self-mastery, now we got to take that out into the universe, and we got to build collectively and cohesively with our families, with our communities, with our cities, and our organizations, anywhere that we plan on being, because anywhere that we plan on being, because that is what it takes in order to function as a human. You feel me? Like, we can learn from these animals and these insects, but ultimately, man, we're still human beings, right? We're still a spirit in a dirt suit. And so we still got to show that love and camaraderie, right? We still got to show that love and compassion to another human being, but also have a discerning spirit and know how far to go. So you know that I love y'all, family. The time is now. If you haven't joined the movement, the time is now, because like I said, I'm not keeping this open forever for everybody just to join, because I'm understanding that time and trust don't go together. You feel what I'm saying? Like, time and trust just don't go together. You don't have time always. There's an expiration date, just like on our life, whether we recognize it or not. So let's make sure we're making the right decisions, man. Let's make sure we're in the right environments. And if you haven't joined the movement, this may be your calling for you to yoke up, and let's do what needs to be done right now. You know that I love y'all, family, but the time is now. Man, let's go and let's grow.